365 Sports.
All right, Colts season is over.
I mean, statistically not. Some things have to happen.
Okay? Fill me in.
Okay. What needs to happen is team from Houston needs to lose out. Colts need to win out.
Okay? Which
is
one of those
plausible.
games is against each other.
Mm-hmm. It is possible. I think the hardest thing out of that is honestly the Colts beating Jacksonville.
Okay?
And some teams that the Colts have beaten that the team from Houston has not beaten, such as Atlanta and the Chargers, need to keep winning.
Okay.
Which so far all of those teams technically need to do. Chargers can still win their division.
Yeah.
And bump up in the seeding
Right.
as well. And need to continue to do that so that Houston doesn't catch them or Indianapolis.
Cardinals will be another one. Cardinals, of course,
yep.
They're kind of out of it. So
right.
Who knows what they're going to do.
Right. So we need help from other teams along with Houston losing out and the Colts winning out.
Here's my thought on this. This is the latest that we have been in this predicament for the last several years. Like 5 weeks left to go. We were looking at, well, this needs to happen. You know, we're at 2 weeks left and we're just now going, okay, now we need a lot of help, you know?
Mm-hmm. But there's a stat out there that says since the Colts bye week, there have been 16 games that could have helped the Colts playoff chances.
I think that's more now. I think that's 17 now with yesterday's result.
And it has gone 0-17.
Yeah. There's been no, like the Colts haven't done their job, but nobody else has done anything to help in any regard whatsoever. So
correct.
For that to change now seems
unlikely.
Very slim. I'm Kevin. This is my son, Liam. We are the Unstable Blues, happy to present 365 Sports Indiana as part of the 365 Sports Network.
Yes, welcome back. The Colts were embarrassed again in primetime as they could not stop the Niners' offense, even though their own offense looked pretty impressive. We'll discuss the game and the next two games ahead. Here we go.
Yes, you can follow us on TikTok and Instagram at 365 Sports Indiana. And don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes. All right. Quick injury thing, not necessarily during the game.
Right.
But, I mean, Kittle got injured during the game, and he didn't come back in after that.
Yes, Bortolini left the game pretty early with a concussion.
Bortolini left the game as well. But one that I found interesting was not on the inactives. It was Mooney Ward, but he didn't play at all.
Yeah, definitely a little suspicious.
I don't think there's been any news about it either, which is very, very weird.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the deal. Like, they kept it close. It was still only down a touchdown at halftime.
Even into the fourth quarter, I believe, down a touchdown.
Right. And, you know, it didn't look great. It looked like it was getting out of hand. Of course, when the other team doesn't punt and the quarterback throws for 5 touchdowns, that's not going to be great. But what did I keep saying the whole, like, toward the end of the game? I said, there's something out here.
It was a turnover.
I said, there's a turnover in here somewhere. In here somewhere is a turnover. And just when it looked like all hope was lost, Brock Purdy sailed the ball, and Cam Bynum was just at the right place at the right time, and unlike the first touchdown, and got it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then just a few plays later, Phillip Rivers had his lone interception. Kind of put the game away because that was pick 6.
Yes, it was.
Not our pick 6.
No.
We'll do that tomorrow. But,
yeah.
So what do you think of Rivers, though, in his performance?
He definitely grew since the past week. I thought he looked like a normal quarterback. He put up Daniel Jones stats, kind of what I'd expect out of him. I mean, obviously doesn't create a threat on the run, and that's, I think, part of the reason why JT was so successful is because now they can only run JT. They could they could have ran with Daniel Jones as well.
Right.
So I'm impressed by the passing game a ton, and it's had to carry because JT couldn't get anything started.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. 46 yards on
Touchdown,
16 carries and 1 touchdown, but that was from a yard out when they had kind of done all the other work to get there.
Mm-hmm. My big thing is it's not like they didn't give him the ball because he averaged 2.9 a carry.
Yeah.
So it's not like they just didn't give him the ball. He just wasn't. And I said many times on his runs, doesn't look like JT running the ball. It looked a little weird. I don't know what's going on, mental, physical, whatever. But it just looked weird.
Yeah. Yeah. And, we talked about how bland their defense would be, but at the right time, in crunch time, they dialed up some pressures and did what they needed to do. The Niners did. But how about Phillip Rivers, especially on the first 2 drives? Just like checking out of things, directing traffic, the whole game, directing traffic, putting people in position, and carving up a defense, albeit bland and young, but being able to make the checks and make the he had complete command on that field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was very enjoyable to watch. I was really excited whenever he started doing that. I was like, this is a true quarterback. This is real football. Someone who knows the playbook inside and out and knows how to read defenses like the back of his hand. I loved watching it, and I think that's why it makes him such a good high school coach as well.
Yeah.
So
well, and I heard it said that maybe there's a possibility if he ever decides to do more than just high school, he could.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think he could coach at the NFL level if he wanted to. He's definitely smart enough. He's up there with guys like Luke Kuechly and like them at with their brains and stuff like that. It's absolutely absurd.
Yeah. Speaking of Luke, he did call
the pick six.
The pick six.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did see that.
Yeah. Funny you brought him up. CMC on the other side just tearing it up. And then Kittle, both those guys over 100 in their respective fields with rushing and catching. And even though they just don't quite listen to our podcast enough, because didn't I say that?
You did?
I said there's 2 people.
Yep.
There's 2 people. You gotta watch 2 people. They didn't. Like from the very beginning. It was like 3 or 4 drives into the game. Maybe it was at halftime. And there had been a total of maybe 3 or 4 plays that I would deem successful plays that were not
outside of Kittle and CMC.
No, I take it back. It was even less than that. As far as like 2. As far as the actual successful plays beyond like 2 yards down the field, there was only 2 plays, I think. Yeah. And one of those was a Purdy scramble, and so. Maybe they should listen. Although Pierce having a day.
Yep. 4 receptions, 86 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you pass interfere with him. He's still going to get it.
Yep.
This is – you said we got to look that stat up because –
yeah. How many catches do you have, but you also get like a PI call from you on that same play?
Yeah. He's got to be up in the record books, not to mention his just – otherworldly per yard or yards per reception.
It's above 20, which is crazy absurd.
And it's not like he's just like Rashid Shaheed or what's the guy from the Packers?
Romeo Dobbs?
No, that only kind of catches like 1 or 2 deep balls, maybe a game. He does this all the time.
He's consistently in the rotation for catching.
And he has, it's not like you need to sort of hit a certain minimum of catches to get there, right?
Right.
He's got that. But, getting everybody involved, 23 passes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different receivers. So we've said it all season. This is Indiana football. Spread the ball, right? Yeah. And you expect your veteran quarterback to do that as well. So What are some intangibles then for you?
I think you just had to. Honestly, I don't know what you could have done besides just stop Kittle and CMC. You stopped, then I believe you win the game. Even if you stopped one of them, I told you about halftime. I said I think even if you stop the run, you will win this game, and they just couldn't do that. It looked to be that way, and then there was kind of a bright spot. Colts kind of getting momentum, not necessarily catching up on scoreboard, just getting momentum.
Yep.
And then they were able to run the ball again, and so you had to stop one of those phases.
Yeah, the drive. The drive that was kind of the crossover between the third and the fourth quarter, I believe, with the Colts. That to me was the drive that could have defined the game.
Mm-hmm.
They had 6-minute drive, 65 yards, 12 plays, ended with a touchdown, mix of run and pass, and that was good. But then when they turn around and then just give up another touchdown just like that, that's not going to help your case. You have to do your deal on the defense. The defense is just literally what did you say? Who was back?
Gus Bradley.
And it looked like Gus Bradley had smuggled himself back to the Colts sideline because they just didn't want to tackle. They were, shoulder checking and not wrapping up. Soft coverage, zone stuff on that goal to go situation where it was 3rd and goal and they had to have it. And I said, what did I say? What the Colts should do?
Blitz. Bring everybody.
I said, bring everybody. Go cover 0. Bring everybody. Right? Because they didn't on the one play. They played. They were only rushed 3. That was also mysterious. They also rushed 3, just a ton, and it didn't always work. And then when they chose to rush 4, then they needed more DBs. So they adjust on 2nd down, rush 3, and I said, now you switch it up and you bring everybody. And then they went on this soft zone coverage, and it was an easy touchdown. Mm-hmm. Didn't make sense. So what then was your Mayflower move of the game?
We talk about all this defensive stuff. I believe it was a special teams play. The Amir Abdullah fumble.
Wow, early.
Got them behind, and then the Niners went down. Great field position, scored a touchdown, and then it was just catch up from there, and they just couldn't catch up.
All right, early. I'm gonna go with the pick 6. From D Winners because there was
spark of hope.
Yeah, there was the spark of hope, and I had been calling it, and it with the turnover, and then it happened, and I was like, okay, there is a possibility that this could have. So you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah.
And then I think that one play kind of defined a lot about the game because it was a pass to Tyler Warren, which Rivers had not necessarily been able to connect with a ton until that one drive that I talked about earlier. He had a couple passes to him that he got, but Tyler Warren kind of made a rookie mistake where he turned while he was still before his break, and D was just right there waiting and was able to jump the route because of it. And Luke Kuechly saw the whole thing.
Yep.
So, who's your star of the game then?
I think it's got to be Phillip Rivers. I'll give an honorable mention to the trio of the Niners. I can't even choose between CMC, Kittle, or Purdy.
Yeah.
I think it's on the Colts side. There's got to be Rivers. He was the only way that the Colts were able to move the ball down the field, and the only way that JT could score that touchdown was because of him. Rivers, props to you. So,
all right. I would love to give it to a Colts player. I'd love to give it to Alec Pierce. I'd love to give it to Cam Bynum, although there was that mysterious thing on the first touchdown. But the Niners won. Christian McCaffrey.
It's your second team, too.
It is my second team. We haven't mentioned that a ton this year, but it was a tough one for me because I grew up watching the Colts and then watching the 49ers play because they would always have the afternoon game after I would watch the Colts lose. And so here I get to watch the Colts lose and the Niners win. It was just like old times. So now I officially, now that this game is over, I get to cheer for both the teams again. Although it looks a little bit brighter for one than the other.
For sure.
So with that said, Christian McCaffrey, he had what, 140-ish yards over that total from scrimmage, 2 touchdowns, both receiving. So what he does and the attention that he draws allows a lot of that other stuff to happen. And he still, even if you did watch the podcast and you do know that he is your main focus, it still doesn't matter. He just keeps going and keeps coming at you. So that's where that's at. Anything else from you?
Nope. That's it. That's all I got.
Well, that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow with our unstable pick 6 NFL prediction episode. And then we'll do our candy stripe clear out look at IU basketball. And then our keep the pace episode where we look at Pacers basketball. And then we will end the week with our preview of the Colts hosting the Jaguars in what is potentially, probably, I think we can call it a must-win now.
Oh, for sure.
And the last-ditch effort to make a playoff potential push of any kind.
Yeah, well, this is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to say 365 Sports Indiana.
365 Sports.